All right, guys. So this is going to be an overview of fear philosophy. This is my signature PUA program, and it's for wannabe pickup artists and guys who want to pick up the hottest girls they can find. I'm going to actually uh, give credit to Ozzy, who used to be with RSD, because this program is based off of his program, which is called Fear Technology. And so it's similar in almost every way, except for maybe a few things that I might have added. Um, and I'm not sure whether or not Ozzy would agree with them or not, but it's just some things that I've found or discovered when trying to do this stuff. So, um, but yeah, fear philosophy is it's a system to help you build confidence. It's a program to help you build confidence, I should say. It's not a method or technique, although I do have some of those that I'll talk about later in future online courses. Um, but fear philosophy is a program to help you focus on building confidence. That's the focus. That's what it's about. Um, Once you get the confidence you need, then you'll be able to use techniques and certain methods and systems and whatnot to actually pick up the girl. But you'll find that once you get all the confidence you need to approach the hottest girls, the ones with the most attitude, that sort of thing, you'll find that a lot of those techniques and methods and whatnot that you hear about in the pickup community and even my systems and whatnot are actually common knowledge. In other words, you already know most of this stuff as far as techniques and whatnot is concerned. The problem is that you're just too afraid to use them, and that's why we have to focus on fear first. Once we focus on fear, then we can worry about methods and techniques and stuff like that. And the reason why I have my own techniques and my own methods and systems and whatnot is because I feel that they're better than some of the other nonsense that you see out there, some of the other gimmicky type techniques and tactics a lot of these pickup gurus teach to their clients and followers. So, but again, this overview is going to be about the program of fear philosophy and how it can help you build true confidence. Not fake confidence, not pretending to be high value alpha male and all that nonsense. This is the confidence that is rock solid. You're going to feel like nothing can intimidate you, nothing can scare you, no situation can intimidate you, that sort of thing. And it's you're going to find out that it's different than, let's say, trying to be a badass or trying to be alpha or something like that. Because you're going to learn that the type of confidence that I'm talking about is a defense of your emotional makeup, whereas the other type of confidence, which is more ego based, is more rooted in anger, passion, and used for attack. And it's not that one is more powerful than the other. It's just the fact that when you use your emotions and your passions and to drive you to attack, then most of the times that leads to emotional suffering, and that's one of the biggest problems in the pickup community, is that we're trying to avoid emotional suffering. But the very things that they learn in the guys learn in the pickup community is leading them down towards emotional suffering, and a lot of guys end up, very frustrated. They bounce around from guru to guru, don't know which pickup artist to follow, and that sort of thing, and they lack results, and they still lack the true confidence they need to approach and try to pick up the hottest girls possible. So this overview is going to really try to clarify the differences in that. But in order to do that, we have to go to the beginning. So this section of the course, or this first part of the course, is just an overview, so you can get a taste of what fear philosophy is all about and how it permeates throughout the course. Because you have to start at the beginning. I mean, it makes no sense to teach you a bunch of things you can do without understanding the philosophy behind it. Now, philosophy, in my opinion, is a lot different than self-help. Self-help is, to me, just kind of internet marketing nonsense. Not to say that you can't learn some stuff from it, but it's nowhere near meaningful as philosophy, and not all philosophy is good. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, most philosophy is nowadays is just garbage. The type of philosophy that I take my ideas from is as what you see here at the top of this illustration, is Part A, Jedi / Stoic / Tao philosophy. And the reason why I use these three types of philosophy is, one, they have a lot in common. They really don't contradict each other at all. But the emphasis on each one of these types of philosophies is very important when it comes to developing your own philosophical view of pickup, and not just pickup, but in life in general. And because you're going to find out that pickup has a lot to do with your emotions. Again, I mentioned emotional suffering, and when it comes to the Jedi philosophy, which is obviously from the movie Star Wars, not the Disney nonsense, but the one that George Lucas created. When you study and observe the Jedi philosophy, you realize that there's this balance between our selfish desires and our wanting to be compassionate towards others, and a lot of times we get confused as to what is the right way, whether or not we want to be compassionate, or whether or not we need to look out for ourselves, and that's because at those moments we're not rational people, and that's because we're angry at something. Usually it's the girl. When we're angry at something, usually we're angry at other people because we feel like the victim. and because we can't control the situation. So when it comes to pickup, usually we're angry at the girl. We also could be angry at ourselves too. We might, at that point think we're a loser, or we're not high value, or some silly nonsense like that. But that's why I like the Jedi philosophy when it comes to pickup, and I incorporate the Jedi philosophy along with the Stoic and the Tao when it comes to fear philosophy. Now, when it comes to Stoic philosophy, what I like from there, it emphasizes that there's things that we can control and things we can't control, and what matters is our reaction to it. So, you'll find that not just pick up, but throughout life, that when we approach a girl, our first instinct is to try to control the situation, and that's just wrong. We don't know how a girl, or anyone for that matter, is going to react to us. She could freak out. She could, be nice to us. She could maybe try to take advantage and maybe want us to give her some money. I mean, who knows? And so if we approach pickup with this idea that I need to learn tactics and gimmicks and stuff like that in order to control the situation, then it's going to make it very difficult for us to react to rejection and disappointment the way we should. And the way we should react to things beyond our control is to just not be angry about it. And that means that, we wish people the best. Maybe we're just not the right fit for that particular girl. Who knows? But as if we train ourselves to not focus on what we cannot control, then that frees up all of our energy to be focused on what we can control, which is ourselves. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what we can control as far as ourselves is concerned when it comes to performance. Performance is really the key to using any tactic or I don't like to use gimmicks, but let's say techniques in order to pick up girls. You can use those with great success if you free your energy up from trying to control the outcome and instead focus on your performance, and you're trying to do the best you can. That's mainly what fear philosophy tries to teach, is this part from Stoic philosophy, or this idea that there are things that we can control, and obviously that is limited to ourselves and our own actions. And then there's things that we can't control, which is pretty much everything else. And that especially includes women who, can do whatever they want. And we have no control over that. So, and then the Tao philosophy, the Tao philosophy is also used in fear philosophy, or I get some ideas from there. And the main idea I get from Tao philosophy is the idea of balance. The idea that what goes around comes around, what goes up goes down. There's light, there's day. It's where there's rejection, there's opportunity. if you look at life that way, you'll understand everything pretty much in a nutshell. You won't have to have these crippling ideas and conspiracy theories about why things are the way they are, why you may or may not have success with women. You realize that you can accept life for what it is. You can accept the game of pickup for whatever it is, and still be happy with it. And not be angry at your success with women, because to be honest, not everybody can be a pickup artist. Not everybody can have success with women. It mainly has to do with their mental capacity, or their mental control over their emotions, and namely anger. And most guys can't do it. The way most people get into a relationship is, they already find someone in their social circle and go from there. But when it comes to pickup, pickup is very, very hard to do, especially in the beginning, because unless you already are somebody who gets a lot of attention from girls, maybe you're good looking, maybe you have money or something like that, you're you're going to have a hard time to learn how to control your emotions, because you're going to feel like that victim. And the Tao philosophy helps you to understand that you can still be happy with your limitations, and kind of like be a cynic, filled with cynicism in a way, but in a good way. I consider myself a cynic, but I'm a happy person. I walk around with a smile on my face all the time. And that's because nothing surprises me. I always expect the worst. And you're going to learn in fear philosophy that, because this is really one of the key points in Tao philosophy, is there is no judgment over what's good and bad. It's just, it is what it is. And that takes a burden off your shoulders when it comes to pickup. It allows you to freely go out and do code approach and not expect anything, unlike what a lot of these pickup gurus and top dating coaches try to sell you. This idea that if you learn their 5 secrets to success with women, that you're gonna just go out there and kill it, and take these girls home and whatnot, and they make it sound like it's almost guaranteed, if you buy their products, and it's just so frustrating. I went down that route. I try to learn pickup that way, and it just never, even when it did work, it was just a grind. Pickup should not feel like a grind. Pickup, in the beginning it was going to feel that way, but eventually what you want it to feel like is this hobby that you enjoy doing, like a sport. If you like playing basketball and or football or something like that, and you get together with your friends, or maybe you join a minor league or something like that, you just can't wait to do it. That's what pickup should feel like. It shouldn't, ultimately it shouldn't feel like this chore, this grind that you got to go through in order to get results, because when you learn the Tao philosophy, and learn how, there's up and down. What comes around goes around. Light and day, and that sort of thing. You realize that they're always going to be somebody better than you. Maybe you're the guy who doesn't get success, but maybe you're successful in some other areas. But as long as you enjoy the effort that you make and pick up, then you're still going to be happy. And so that's why I like incorporating the Tao philosophy along with the Jedi, the Stoic, and the Stoic philosophy. So, and I have a more in-depth course and curriculum and even website called Spider Bite Venom that teaches all of this, and that's why I call it Spider Bite Venom. It's the combination of Jedi / Stoic / Tao philosophy. But as far as this overview is concerned with fear philosophy, I draw the same ideas because to me it's important to understand what it means to control your anger and to control your emotions. If you can control your emotions and you can control your anger, you'll have a peace of mind that is more powerful than anything in the universe. And you'll see that in your life, because what matters in the universe matters to you, and everything else doesn't matter. So you're going to see how powerful it is, especially when it comes to game. If you stick with me and you learn fear philosophy and learn how it works and understands where it comes from, which is this Jedi / Stoic / Tao philosophy. So that brings us to part B, which is the drills and journaling. There's this big debate on, especially out of the self-help community, about whether or not you should, write a journal or stuff like that, or log your sessions and stuff like that. I'm a big believer in journaling, but I don't believe that you have to keep a daily journal for nothing. In other words, I don't believe that you have to, if you, for some reason you're not doing pickup that day, maybe you have to work or something comes up or something like that, or maybe those are not the days you do pickup, then there's no reason to journal, unless you got some other endeavor you're doing. But there's really no need to keep a daily journal, with all this silly self-help type stuff where, I woke up and did my gratitude mission, and I did all my meditations and all that type of stuff. I mean, you can do that. I even talk about some of that stuff over, again, at my Spider Bite Venom philosophy website. However, when it comes to pickup, since it's just focused on pickup, you only have to journal, your sessions or the times you go out and do pickup. And when you do pick up, you want to practice drills, at least in the beginning of each session. And that's why I say here in part B, do your drills and your journaling. Now, there are all kinds of drills you can do. You can even make up your own drills, which I'll teach you how to do later. But the drills are important to help you get over fear. Because no matter how long you've been doing pickup, each time you go out, you're going to have to deal with fear, especially in the beginning, because that's where fear crops up the most. Even if you had success the day before, the night before, or maybe, you might have just made out with some girl 10 minutes ago. You'd be surprised at how fear of success or just fear in general will crop back up because you always are attached to, oh, can I do it again, or can I be better than I was the last time, and that sort of thing. And you have to be careful with that, because you're going to again learn from fear philosophy, or which is Jedi / Stoics / Tao philosophy. This stuff that I'm teaching is for defense of your emotions. It's not for you to try to be the best or try to one up on somebody or any of that. It's just so that you can enjoy the art of pickup. So yeah, so you do your drills, in the beginning of your sessions, and they could be very simple drills. It can maybe take 5 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how long you go out. As long as the drills serve their purpose, which is to help you get over that initial fear you have when you go out and practice pickup, then you're good. And then when you write in your journal at the end of your session what you did, you should also write how you felt. Did you feel angry at the end of each drill, or did you feel accomplished? Did you feel like, yeah, I might have failed at, getting what I want, but I feel successful as far as controlling my emotions, which is more important. So you just want to write that yes or no observation in your journals each time you go out, after each time you go out. So that way you can go back and reflect, and even if you don't go back and reflect, while you're writing it down, and I suggest you write down your journals in a book, not type it out on a computer or anything like that. Although I will probably in the future maybe come up with an app or something that you can take notes and that can serve as your journal. But especially in the beginning, you want to write in a book your observations over, not so much of what happened in the interaction, although you should have some details about, each set you approached and what happened there. But basically what's more important is your reaction to it. Were you angry? Did you feel angry at the end of that interaction? And if you did, don't deny it, don't hide it, don't pretend like you didn't feel that way. Just write it down, and then vow to yourself to do better in that area, because that's something you can control. You won't be able to control so much your fears and that sort of thing, but you can control your reaction to what happens to you. And this is how we train ourselves to control our emotions, is when we journal our reactions to rejection and our reactions to success. You're going to find that it's very easy to get attached to these girls, especially the ones who like you and you may, hook up with and that sort of thing. Only to find out later that, girls come and go. And, as good as you may think you are, nothing lasts forever. A girl could already have a boyfriend, already have somebody she's seeing, and you're just somebody that just came along and was able to sweep her off her feet for maybe that one night or that one particular moment in history, or that one moment in her life, and you might never see that girl again. So if you don't have control over your emotions and you get attached to that, even though that was a success for you and that was a good time for you, that can cause you some emotional suffering. And so that's why it's important that when we write down our journals, we also write down whether or not we feel angry or frustrated, or even if we feel good, do we feel attached to the girl that we met? It's very important, because once the better we are at controlling our emotions, the less mistakes we'll make when we make progress in this game. So that brings us to anger management. Anger management, is again this idea that rejection is just part of life, and it's something that's beyond our control. So if we try to control it, it's just going to make us more angry. And when we're angry at girls, it's kind of a snowball effect, because then we'll take that anger out on the next girl, and then the next girl, and we can waste a lot of time feeling angry and trying to do something about it, when all we have to do is just learn how to relax and accept things for what they are, and still keep a smile on our face. So we're going to learn about anger management. In my opinion, pickup is anger management. Just because of the sheer number of rejections that you're going to face when you go out and you do this type of stuff. Pickup teaches you, if anything else, to either control your anger or to expose how angry you are, to the point that you might just give up and just say, you know what, this is not for me. I'd just rather go back to try to find a girl in my social circle or something like that, and or maybe do something extreme, like, I mean, who's to say? It's just like pickup will really make one of those two things happen for you. Hopefully it's you able to, you being able to control your anger. So that's what pickup is. Fear philosophy is going to really teach you how to manage your anger. You're going to hear me talk mostly about anger, not so much about girls and pickup. It's just, when it comes to fear philosophy, it's really about your anger. Most guys think they're happy-go-lucky guys, but they're not. Because deep down inside, they're angry. They believe that it's because they're either too short, or because they're black or ethnic, or or they got a thick accent, or some superficial excuse. They believe that that's what's holding them back from getting the type of girls that they want, and so forth. And it could be, but because they rely on that anger and that passion in order to try to fix the problem, which most of that superficial type stuff you couldn't fix even if you wanted to, it's just going to make them more angry. And that's not a way to go about life and enjoy it, especially pickup. You're going to find that the less angry you are, the more girls you're going to have, the hotter the girls you're going to have. Because, women by nature are typically angry, even the nice ones, because women, for a good part of their life, have everything handed to them, and that's not enough for them. People in general want things that they are not able to control or were not able to have. So unless they're taught otherwise, most women have an anger over that fact. So when a girl meets a guy like you who has control over his anger, that's that's refreshing to her, because that's something she wished she was able to do, is control her anger. And and because you're able to use the right methods and seduction type techniques on her, because you're able to control your anger, she's going to fall for it. She's going to like it, and that's what you want. But you can't do it if you haven't managed your anger. It's not like, okay, the girl's angry too, and so that means she's looking for someone else to be angry. I mean, she could, but those relationships are really toxic and really, really bad. And really, the only reason why women stay in those type of relationships is because of some superficial reasons that, it's coming really from outside pressure. But when it comes to you, if you're able to control that anger and manage that anger, you're going to find that that girls are going to gravitate towards you. Not that you expect it, but it's just naturally happen, because again, this Tao philosophy, where what goes up goes down. What girls can't find in other guys, they may find in you. That's how pickup flows. That's the nature of pickup. The more girls you approach, the more you're going to run into these situations where girls that you may never have even thought were possible to get are just going to come into your life, and you're going to have lots of fun with them, and it's going to be a great time. But in order to not squander those opportunities, you want to train yourself to control that anger. Because let's face it, most guys who come into pickup are angry. I was, everybody is, because they're not happy with the results they have at the current moment. So they go online, they learn about the pickup community, and they just trying to find whatever they can to let go of their anger, let go of their hate of women, let go of their anger of the game, and Fear Philosophy is going to teach you how to really do that. Not in the conventional PUA type of following where gurus tell you, just go out there and pretend like you're high value and all this silly nonsense. That's not how we control our anger. We go to the core of the problem, and the core is you're not accepting your lot in life. You're not accepting who you are. You're not accepting the fact that, hey, maybe you just are not good with girls, and there's nothing wrong with that. You'd be surprised that if you can admit that to yourself and not be angry about it, that some hot girl will come into your life and pleasantly surprise you. But that's how it should be. It shouldn't be you're the one that's going out there trying to force situations like that, because it's next to impossible to do, and you just get angry and butthurt over it. So let's talk about TMT, the tools, methods, and techniques that I use with Fear Philosophy. I criticize a lot of these pickup gurus and top dating coaches about their tactics and techniques and methods and stuff like that. But only to the extent that I just think my techniques and my methods are better. So And when I say better, to some extent, they're kind of the same as what you've already known in the pickup community if you've been following it for a long time. But the way I teach my methods and teach my techniques and the way I word them and articulate them, I think it's better. I think it's a better way for you to understand how to do pickup. I think it's just a better way to avoid anger while you're using my techniques and methods and so forth. So let's talk about this for a little bit. Part A here talks about dirty talk, reverse psychology or reverse psyche, and tantra. And we're going to learn in fear philosophy, when to use these types of tools, because these are tools, and if you don't use these tools correctly, you can hurt yourself. You can, again, make yourself angry and frustrated over the fact that you don't know how to use these tools. Or you can, make the girl angry and upset at you because you don't know how to use these tools or when to use them and that sort of thing. So, but these are just naming some of the tools that are in our toolbox here. Dirty talk, reverse psychology, and tantra. So obviously, stuff like tantra. I mean, you're gonna have to. I mean, there's stuff here like when it comes to tantra and stuff that I don't even know that well. But you can really dive deep into this kind of stuff and know how to give girls the pleasure that maybe no other guy can give her. Which is what you want. What makes you stand out as a guy is not you pretending to be high value or some alpha male nonsense. What really does it is you being of service to a hot girl and letting her know that, hey, you have some things you can do to her that can make her feel really good, that can give her lots of pleasure. And if she's willing to take you up on the offer, you can make her very happy with that. And if you approach it that way, not in a selfish way where you try to get the girl to do stuff for you, you're going to find that a lot of hot girls are going to be impressed with that. Not that we're trying to impress girls, but you're going to find that a lot of girls are going to be like, wow, since when does a guy offer to, give me pleasure? And that's where the dirty talk comes in, where you say certain things to girls and tell them what you want to do to them and how you can make them feel really good and that sort of thing. And girls will eat it up. But at the same time, there's a time to use those tools. You can't just walk up to a girl talking that kind of stuff. You have to know when you can have conversations like that with a girl. And so we're going to talk about that kind of stuff in Fear Philosophy. And then part B here says methods to train and seduce girls. I have a method called the ACC method, which is arousal, compliance, and close. And it's just kind of like wash, rinse, and repeat when it comes, to shampooing your hair. And you're going to find that if you use my ACC method, you're going to know what to do each time a girl, let's say for example, is excited at what you're saying to her or your physical touch or something like that. You're going to know what to do next based on this ACC method. And then I have a system called bitch training, which is, it's a seduction tool where you're, in my opinion, pickup is about training the girl to do what you want, to comply. And when you train a girl the right way to do what you want, she really thinks she's doing it for her, which is what you want, which is what you really want. 'Cause that's how you really get into a girl's mind. You want her convinced that pleasing you is pleasing herself, and it's by pleasing you is a way of turning the key to get what she wants. Because at the end of the day, everyone is selfish, especially girls. And the trick is to get the girl to think that she's getting what she wants, when in reality it's a mutual benefit, and that's the thing, because the girl doesn't really care about you, even if she says so. She cares more about herself. And especially if you're not classically good looking, or if you don't have all the LMS superficial type of characteristics, you're basically a nobody. You're basically a piece of shit. Let's just be honest. And you're probably not her type. At least not the type of guy she normally dates. So when you approach, you're gonna have to use a training method, which I call bitch training 101, along with that's a system I call my bitch training system, along with my ACC method, in combination of the two, to convince this girl that hey, I can make you feel really good. All you got to do is just do what I say, and what I say is very easy to do. It's just basically answer my questions, following my lead, that sort of thing, complying. And the more you comply, the closer you're going to get to what you want. And I'm going to tease you a little bit, but in a playful way, and you're going to know that it's going to be fun. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll just go on this little adventure together, as long as you follow my lead. So this is really, in my opinion, this is what seduction is all about. This is how we seduce girls. Most guys, they say they understand what seduction means, but they really don't know what it means. Seduction, to me, it means training a girl to get what she wants, which is not you. That's the tricky part. Most guys thinks it's, if I can pretend like I'm high value or that sort of thing, then the girl is going to want me. This whole attraction theory nonsense. It's just bullshit. That's not really how it works. What the girl is looking for is not you. She's looking for some 6 foot something, classically good looking guy who's got his shit together, and maybe can be her boyfriend, and maybe ultimately marry, the Prince Charming. That's really what she's looking for. But because you're probably not it, I mean, most likely you're not Prince Charming, then you have to offer an alternative. And when I say alternative, I mean you have to offer her something else that she might be interested in, which is obviously, sexual pleasure. So, girls don't have to be attracted to you in order to, you know, in the classical sense, in order to be sexually satisfied. Um, you know, they trust me. They that is your physical appearance and that sort of thing is so far down on the list uh, as far as a requirement is concerned, um, to give her sexual pleasure. That's not like, you don't have to worry about being unable to offer sexual pleasure as an alternative to you being her Prince Charming or her boyfriend or something like that. And once you understand that to a really deep level, this is pure philosophy. Now you're going to really be able to understand women at a deeper level. Now your worries and your concerns about, do I have a chiseled jawline, or do I have, six pack abs and all that nonsense? Do I have all that in order to get the girl? And if it's not about that, then what do I need? Oh, okay. It's about isolation and just getting the girl somewhere private where I can, talk dirty to her and tell her all the things I can do for her sexually. That's what gets the girl. Okay, so now we're talking. Once you understand this is how pickup really works and seduction really works, then you're going to be able to, open your eyes and see how, the possibilities are just unlimited with these girls. So we're going to talk more about that, methods to train and seduce girls. And that leads us to part C here, which is techniques dealing with groups. Right now, as I record this this online training course, we're going through this COVID-19 nonsense. It's just ridiculous. The lockdowns, in my opinion, should never have happened. But here we are. So that means all these nightclubs and bars are closed. Hopefully they'll reopen soon, but right now everything's so politicized that it's just really no telling when. But when they do reopen, you're going to have to learn how to deal with groups, because hot girls just do not go out by themselves. They have a social circle, they have friends to hang around with, and you're going to have to learn how to deal with that. And that's why fear philosophy really focuses on groups, because group theory, if you want to call it that, is very intimidating. Most guys, don't know if they should approach the girl first or her friends, or approach the group all at the same time. Questions like that. So we're going to talk about these kind of techniques, what to do, how we should approach groups. And then you're going to learn that once you are able to master, approaching groups without any fear, then you're going to be able to quickly isolate the girl that you want, which is very important, because that's where all the work that you need to do can take place. All the dirty talk and the reverse psychology and that sort of thing. So we're going to talk more about that, the techniques dealing with groups. Very, very important. Most guys try to skip this part, because they think, I can just walk up to a group of girls and pick out the one I want, and she's automatically going to go home with me and that sort of thing. And it just doesn't work that way. Again, unless you're some 6 foot something tall Chad dude who's got a chiseled jawline and 6 foot and he sings for the Backstreet Boys or something, yeah, then maybe you don't need to worry about dealing with groups. But if you're just some regular Joe Schmo, who's just trying to learn pickup, you're going to have to learn how to deal with groups. You're going to learn how to be friendly and learn how to approach everyone and that sort of thing, and then be able to isolate that girl away from the group. You're going to have to learn all of that. So we're going to talk more about that throughout this course. And then we get to part 3 here, which is LMS, looks, money, and status. Now, I'm not a denier nor a believer that looks, money, and status is the end all be all when it comes to pickup. Obviously, the more attractive you are physically, and the taller you are, and more money you have, status and whatnot, is going to give you an advantage when it comes to pickup. There's no denying that. However, it doesn't mean you still can't do the best you can with girls. It doesn't mean that you can't. There's no room for improvement. I recently I've had some dental work done. Spent a lot of money getting it done. To straighten out my teeth, because my teeth were not as straight as I wanted them to be. They were to be honest, they were kind of crooked and some areas. So I went ahead and spent a lot of money to get that fixed. And that's because it was within my control. I had health insurance and that sort of thing. So I made the investment and got that done. And that's because anything that you can do to improve your looks is a good thing. Why not take advantage of something you can't control of? I mean, that's why you can control it, is so you can use it to your advantage. And and when it comes to money, you can always make more money. You need to be careful, because if you make more money to get girls, then you're going to find out that it doesn't really work that way. You're going to find that girls are just going to use you for your money. It gets you to buy them drinks and take them out to dinner and wine and dine them and whatnot. And you're still not going to get, what you're looking for from them type of girls. Gold diggers are very keen on who's trying to impress them with money. And they're on the prowl for those types of guys. And if you want to be that kind of guy, well, good luck. I mean, but that's not what we teach here at Fear Philosophy when it comes to looks, money, and status. Basically, we just teach how to improve your looks. There are things that you can do. You don't necessarily have to go to the extreme. I mean, even me getting Invisalign braces or whatnot is kind of extreme. Like, you don't have to go that far. But, if you have the means to do it, hey, by all means, go for it. I can't tell you how it has improved my looks and my overall attractiveness to women, because, women compliment me all the time on my smile. And because your smile is one of the 4 fundamentals that you learn later, is very important when it comes to pickup. You have to have a great smile. Then it was worth the investment for me to get that done. And, if you're not able to maybe go that far, you can still maybe do the best you can to get your teeth whitened or something like that. I mean, you should definitely be brushing your teeth every day. But stuff like your overall dress, you want to look your best. You maybe get a nice, cool pair of sunglasses. That sort of thing. These are the types of things you can do to improve your looks. And we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this type of stuff because a lot of this is just obvious. But we will cover it in Fear Philosophy. And then part B, the last part, which is maintenance. Again, this, we want to maintain our health. That's just not just for our looks. But the older we get, depending on how long you want to do pickup, for me, it's unless I get married or something like that, I plan on doing it for life. So going to the gym, eating healthy, eating right is very important. And that's how I maintain what looks, money, and status I have. I try to take my job serious. I try to work hard as far as that's concerned. So those are the types of things you can do in order to maintain your looks, money, and status. It's just basically do the best you can. And women notice it. Women notice. When you approach women, they're gonna, the first thing that they're trying to do is figure out. You're a stranger. They have no idea who you are, so they can tell, whether or not you have a lot of money. Even if you try to fake it, they can already tell that you're just trying to impress them. But really, what they like though is just for a guy to take care of himself. A guy who obviously showers regularly, wears deodorant, maybe cologne or aftershave or something like that. It smells good. Smells like a man, but smells good. Smells fresh, clean. If he has a beard, make sure it's clean cut and shaven. If you're an older guy, you can dye your beard to take the gray out. Stuff like that. You can. There are things you can do to maintain your health and your overall LMS. Your looks, money, and status. And you want to have enough money to take girls out. You'll know when to take girls out. You won't be taken advantage of. You'll know when it's worth it. The more dates you go on, the more it comes with experience. The more you know exactly how much to spend on girls. But if you don't have any money to spend on girls, then it's going to be that much more difficult for you. And spending money on girls is within your control. So again, this goes back to this Jedi Stoic / Tao philosophy. You can control that, and but if you don't have any money and then you're trying to do things without money, then now you're trying to do things beyond your control, and that's not good. So there's a balance there. We don't want to, try to make money just for money's sake, but or to impress girls. But we'll talk more about that. So anyway, so that wraps up this overview of Fear Philosophy. I hope you got a understanding of what we're going to talk about throughout this course. There's a lot of information to learn, but I'm not going to be talking about it in platitudes and vague nonsense, that most of these pickup gurus talk about. I'm actually going to give you drills and things to do, techniques that you can actually apply once you build your confidence and that sort of thing. And you're going to learn that Fear Philosophy is just a lot better system, a lot better program to learn than from these pickup gurus and these top dating coaches that just rather teach you how to be high value, and it's just faking a bunch of nonsense. I mean, who wants to be a fake pickup artist? I mean, you want to be able to approach a girl and be yourself, and not be afraid to be yourself, and have the confidence that okay, I know what to do. I know how to talk to girls. I know how to lead. I know how to physically escalate. I know how to talk dirty. I know how to, go on dates, take them home, and that sort of thing. You want to get to that point where all this is just routine and just automatic. You don't want to be stuck in your head wondering if a girl thinks you're high value. It's just retarded. So we're gonna talk about these things, and hopefully I can teach you in a way that it'll sink in and you can understand where I'm coming from. Because if you understand these things the way I do, you're going to have rock solid confidence. I mean, nothing's going to be able to intimidate you. I don't care how hot the girl is. I don't care if she's a celebrity. I don't care who she is. I don't care who her friends are, who she's surrounded by. You'll be able to walk up to basically any girl. I mean, and sometimes you'll be bold enough to walk up to girls who've got boyfriends, or some guy standing next to her trying to hit on her, and steal the girl from him. I mean, it's that powerful. But hopefully you can learn all this from the way I'm trying to articulate it, and then get that confidence that I'm talking about. So anyways, that should wrap it up for this overview of fear philosophy. And if you can write your comments, ask some questions, I'll be able to answer them, and I would appreciate that. And until the next video, just keep taking action and learn to work with fear. Thanks.